Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything is good wherever you guys are. Guys, I had to make this video. The reason why I had to make this video and is because of what comments you guys were making. And then I saw this video yesterday and I thought, you know what, I have to react on this because obviously we've been having a lot of discussions. And Eddie Hearn, the former promoter of Demetrius Andrade, has come out and said in an interview that he thinks, in his opinion, Andrade is past his best. And he didn't say that directly like that, but he alluded to that. He basically said, "I feel like Demetrius Andrade might have missed the boat." And what he meant by that is that he goes, he might have been an exceptional fighter, but at this point, I'm just not sure if he gets that opportunity. Is there a chance that he may get blown away by by like a Charlo or a Benavidez or a Plant, just because he may not be the fighter that he was. And this is exactly what I was saying. Obviously, I wasn't being as cautious as Hearn, but Hearn's a guy that's worked with Andrade. He's probably got a relationship with him. But I think he hit the nail on the head. I think he basically told the home truth. Basically, I think he basically thinks that Demetrius Andrade might be past his best. And he probably thinks that, you know what, when he does get that big fight, he's going to get beat. And I feel the same way. Andre's past his best, and I think that, and I think that performance kind of showed that wasn't a great performance. Eddie Hearn kind of alluded to it, that even Eddie Hearn said that Andre got dropped. If you go back, listen to what he said Andre was dropped. He goes, he wasn't hurt or anything, but it was a knockdown. And it's quite crazy because now Eddie Hearn has now someone else that's come out and basically said, and Eddie Hearn's got a good relationship with Andrade, and he's basically now saying that Andrade is past his best, which again solidifies what I was saying previously. I feel that a lot of the people that are saying otherwise are Andrade fans, because I don't think anybody with any kind of rational looking at that performance could say that that was a great performance, or Andrade didn't really look great against effectively a journeyman. Let's be no disrespect to any fighter, but Demo Nicholson is effectively a journeyman, and Andrade for me did not look for an elite fighter. Like, imagine Floyd against Demon Nicholson. I mean, Floyd made world-class fighters look average at times. Like, I'm not comparing Andrade to Floyd because Andrade couldn't hold Floyd's jockstrap as far as I'm concerned. But the point I'm trying to say, an elite fighter makes journeymen look, he makes him look like a journeyman. Andre didn't make Demon Nicholson look like a journeyman. There was actually times in that fight where you felt like if Demon Nicholson stepped on the gas a little bit, who knows, he might even get to Andrade. Like I said, he dropped. Like, in my opinion, that was a drop. And in Hearn's opinion, again, it was a drop. So for me, the guy's past his best as far as I'm concerned. And when he does get that big fight, for me, he gets beat. And he gets beat by knockout, in my opinion, because I don't see him being able to survive and duck and dodge. Like, against Demon Nicholson, it's okay. Against Quigley, it's okay. Against those guys, it's okay. But when you get... And Eddie Hearn also mentioned this, that I'm worried that when Demetrius gets in there with a puncher, someone like Canelo has the kind of ability to take Andrade's lights completely out. See, a lot what you guys don't understand is that when you're in a fight against a skilled fighter, and Canelo's skilled, irrespective of what you guys say, he's skilled enough to land punches on Andrade. And I know if Canelo lands any big punch on Demetrius Andrade, Andrade's going to be in serious trouble. Andrade can't hurt Canelo, and that's where his problem lies. Andrade ain't going to trouble Canelo in terms of hitting Canelo, and Canelo's going to go over, and that ain't going to happen. So basically, Andre's going to have to walk a tightrope in that fight for 12 rounds. I don't believe he can do it. He hasn't even showed he can do it that well against average fighters. How's he going to do it against Canelo, who's a very, very strong, powerful puncher? He gets hit. And against Canelo, you might only need to get hit once, and that's it. It's over. So as far as I'm concerned, and not just Canelo, I mean, even Benavidez could close the show with those quick combinations. Charlo might stun Andrade. I mean, like I said, out of all these guys so far, if I was to rate punch resistance, Andrade for me, his punch resistance is the worst. Like at this point, and he's been wobbled. I mean, and in my opinion, he was dropped in his last fight. So Andrade, for me, has shown the weakest punch resistance out of all these guys. He's even been dropped early on in his career, right? So, and against, like I said, against very poor opposition as well. You know, Charlo was wobbled against Montiel, but I think Charlo's a lot more sturdy. I think both Charlos are a lot more sturdy than Andrade. I think Andrade, if I was to rate Benavidez, you know, even Benavidez, I question his punch resistance. I think if he gets caught with a big one, you know, he's been down as well in his career. But it's not about going down. It's how you react. It's just that Benavidez actually got back up from that and he wasn't that badly hurt. For me, Andrade, at times in fights, I saw against Williams, he looks uncomfortable. That might be now that he's getting older, he's aging, he can't, that stamina's not there. So for me, against the top tier opposition, he's going to get hurt. Those guys aren't going to let him off the hook. Like if Canelo buzzed Andrade the way Demar Nicholson did, that's it. It's over. Andrade isn't going to be able to get through that because Canelo's going to land more. And I don't think he's got the chin to take multiple Canelo shots. He isn't going to make Canelo miss that much like you guys think. Canelo will make, crazy enough, Canelo will make Demetrius Andrade miss. I can promise you that. Right? Billy Joe thought he was slick and this, that, the other. And Billy Joe got made to miss by Canelo. So Andrade will get made to miss as well. So when Andrade gets in the ring with Canelo, it's not going to be he's going to be making Canelo miss. Canelo will be making Andrade miss as well, a lot. And the difference is that Andrade hits Canelo, he's hitting a brick wall. Canelo hits Andrade, there's going to be a reaction. That's a big, big problem for Andrade. Andrade hasn't got the chin that Canelo has. And Andrade hasn't got the power that Canelo has. So Andrade's relying on going 12 rounds, walking a tightrope. Because he can't slug it out with Canelo on the inside, or he can't slug it toe-to-toe with Canelo. Because if he does that, he'll be leaving on a stretcher, as far as I'm concerned. So Andrade can't slug with Canelo. He just can't. He has to walk a tightrope, and he has to box and move for 12 rounds. And that might be the case for any top fighter he fights. Because even Caleb Plant in his last fight, I mean, he put Darrell to sleep. He put Darrell to sleep, and you need power to do that. You know, I mean, Darrell's still better than Demar Nicholson. You know, and Plant just lit. And that's what I mean by impressive. Like, that's an impressive win. When you knock someone's spark out like that, that gets people talking. How many people were talking about the Plant knockout? And he knocked out a guy who was well known. Yes, past his best. Darrell's past his best. But Demar Nicholson, I mean, he's not that great. So Andrade couldn't even stop that guy. You know, whereas Plant stopped the guy that was a former world champion that I believe at one point was a good fighter. Yeah, he was slightly past his best, but to put him to sleep like that, it was very impressive. So, as far as I'm concerned, I think that you have to make, on the performances that we've seen of late, if Andrade goes in against Plant, Benavidez, and Canelo, or Morel, or any of these guys that are seen as top guys at 168, you have to make Andrade probably an underdog at this point. Even Charlo, I think you have to make him an underdog against Charlo just because of what we've seen and the vulnerabilities we've seen. And those top guys are not going to let him off the hook, in my opinion. I think the best fight for Andrade is probably Charlo. But again, I don't think he can hurt Charlo, but I think Charlo can hurt Andrade. Because I think Charlo's more powerful than Liam Williams and Demar Nicholson. And if they can get a reaction out of Charlo, then I'm pretty certain Charlo can. I mean, if they can get a reaction out of Andrade, I'm pretty sure Charlo can get a reaction out of Andrade. I mean, the fact that some of you guys think that Callum Smith is a bum, and Callum Smith, I don't see how you... Like, if Callum Smith runs a right hand on Demetrius Andrade, I think the fight's over. Because Callum Smith's got serious power. Again, he'd have to walk a tightrope because Callum Smith ain't getting knocked out by Demetrius Andrade. Andrade's got no power. He's got no power. I mean, he's not stopping like journeymen. Like, literally, he's not. Like, what are the chances you're going to stop Plant? Or you're going to stop Benavidez? Or you're going to stop the top guys if you're not even stopping guys like Demar Nicholson or Liam Williams? You know, if I'm not mistaken, did he stop Cotton Dokwa? You know? Another guy who I never heard of. I mean, he hasn't stopped a lot of guys, Demetrius Andrade, which tells me his power at 168 is definitely going to be non-existent. I don't think he was a big puncher at 160. At 168, those guys are way bigger, and I don't think he's going to have the power to even put a dent in them. So he's going to have to rely on boxing and moving and not getting caught with a big one. That's how he wins. But leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm pretty sure some of you will disagree, as always. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.